Betty. Welcome to my kitchen. I had a request recently for a recipe for Yorkshire pudding, that traditional British side dish always served with roast beef. I did come up to my cookbook library upstairs here to look at a few recipes, but in the end I decided to use my Old Faithful, and I'm going to share that with you. But I'd like to tell you a little background. Growing up, roast beef was always the dish for celebration dinners of any kind in our home, and my mother always made the Yorkshire pudding. Well, one day I followed her carefully because of course she just put in a little flour, a couple of eggs, some milk. There were no measurements, so I had her put everything aside and weighed it out and measured it. And so I figured at the next dinner I would make the Yorkshire pudding, which I did according to her exact recipe. Well, I put them in the oven, and they sat there, and sat there, and sat there, and never raised. And I must have tried them 3 or 4 more times, always with the same result. So, of course, my mom went back to making the Yorkshire pudding. It wasn't until after she died that, using the exact same recipe, I made them again, and they rose beautifully. So therein lies a tale. But let's go to the kitchen and make some Yorkshire puddings. The ingredients for Yorkshire pudding are very simple. In fact, they're the same as crepes or pancakes. It's simply flour, eggs, and milk. It's amazing what you can do with various combinations of those ingredients. But I have in my blender 1 2/3 cup flour along with 3 eggs. And I'm just going to give those a quick mix. That's mixed a little bit, and I'm going to add most of the milk. Hold back just a little to check the consistency. I'm just going to check that with a spoon to make sure. I think we'll add just a little more milk to this. It's like many of these things, it's not an exact science. All right, the batter is well and truly mixed, and we want to leave this sit for about an hour to let the flour be absorbed into the batter. So we'll see you back in about an hour. I transferred my batter to a jug with a spout, as you can see, and I'm just going to give it a stir before I pour it in. This will make about a dozen Yorkshire puddings, but since I'm making these just for this purpose, I'm only going to cook off a half dozen. I've got a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of each cup. This is a non-stick muffin tin. If I had a roast beef, I would use some of the beef fat, but I have done this frequently. We have a son-in-law who's a vegetarian, so he loves these, and I learned a long time ago that cooking them in olive oil is really very good. Let's finish these off. I have my oven preheated to 450 degrees, and these will cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. So we'll just pop them in the oven. And with any luck, in 15 to 20 minutes, they will have puffed and become beautiful Yorkshire puddings. All right, these have cooked for 20 minutes, and they look just about perfect, I think. I'll just pop these out onto a serving tray, and they'll be all ready. You can see they're beautifully browned. They'll be all ready to go to the table. All they'll need to finish them off is a little salt. So you can enjoy these with roast beef, or if you want to make them with olive oil as I did here, they're a treat you can enjoy anytime. Yorkshire puddings. For further information and even more recipes, please visit my website.